President Trump says so-called sanctuary cities are breaking the law. He issued an executive order last week taking aim at cities across the country that have declared themselves places of safety for illegal immigrants. The cities would lose most federal funding until they comply with immigration laws. San Francisco attorney is suing the president, claiming an executive order over these cities is unconstitutional.
We owe it to our residents to make sure that we are protecting their interests, protecting taxpayer dollars, and we're going to use every tool at our disposal to make sure that the rule of law is followed.
Many cities in California already have sanctuary policies that prohibit police from cooperating with immigration agents. State lawmakers have introduced legislation that would extend these measures statewide. Some national Catholic organizations say President Trump's executive order is destructive to families.
These refugees, for example, who are languishing in camps, who are living on half rations, whose children can't go to school, these are the least among us. And our tradition, our Catholic tradition tells us these are the people we have to prefer to take care of.
Representatives from Catholic Relief Services and the Catholic Legal Immigration Network were among today's speakers at the press conference here in Washington, D.C. And joining us now is Kevin Appleby with the Center for Migration Studies. He was at the news conference. Hans Van Spakovsky with the Heritage Foundation. Did I get that right?
You got it right.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. Kevin, you joined 5 Catholic organizations today speaking out about this executive order. Why is it harmful to families?
Well, because refugee families are most vulnerable in these situations overseas where they're in conflict situations, they're in refugee camps, they don't have enough to eat, etc. So they're in peril still. They'll be in peril for 4 more months. They won't be able to come to the United States. If the viewers remember Aylan Kurdi, the little boy that was washed up on the shores in Greece, that was a family trying to get to Europe because they had to escape ISIS and other persecutors in the region. So this could be another outcome of this decision, that families are going to try to come on perilous journeys and you could lose
like
children.
Elian Gonzalez from Cuba, I think, is something that many people would resonate with. However, you used to work for the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. There is Catholic social teaching that says that yes, we can protect our borders. So, to your point, why is this executive order a good thing?
Well, it's a good thing because look at the details of it. The vast majority of countries are still able to send us immigrants, refugees, and others are able to come in. But the countries that have been targeted are 7 countries that are the largest sources of terrorists in the world. And what the president has said is we're going to have a temporary suspension, 90 days, for example, for those countries until we can be assured that we actually have vetting procedures in place that will make sure that we are not allowing terrorists in. Let's not forget, Jim Comey, head of the FBI, testified before a committee saying they had no ability, for example, to vet or check the individuals coming in from Syria.
However, President Obama, before he left office, did say that these vetting procedures, other people have said it, are substantive. And take months, if not years, in some cases. Kevin, you seem here to be representing the very emotional part of this, these families who are separated from each other. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that the pause is bad. Mm-hmm. Why, if we are safeguarding our borders, is that pause bad?
Well, there's this distinction here. What Hans was talking about was the visa holders who are coming over. What I'm talking about is the refugee program, which is about
which was cut in half.
Which is cut to 50,000.
50,000 from 100 plus.
The most vetted of entrants into this country. They have to wait 2 years to get security clearances to come in. They're more vulnerable than people come in on visas. That's why it's going to hurt them. And also, during this time, they're going to have to go back. Their clearances will expire, so they're going to have to go back to the back of the line and wait several more years.
Is there a way to accommodate this, Hans?
Look, I think the United States, in fact, has bent over backwards to try to help refugees from all over the world come in. We take in very large numbers of them. On the other hand, we've had recent reports, for example, out of European agencies saying that terrorist groups in the Middle East have used the refugee process, for example, in Europe, to smuggle in terrorists posing as refugees, and the estimates were that thousands of them have made it into Europe.
Why
And
is
we
it
have got
different?
we have got to be sure that that is not happening in the United States.
Why?
Our
Last
program is
question.
much different
Last
because
answer.
we interview people over there, we screen them while they're over there in Europe. They just come across the border. And so the refugee program, first of all, we've resettled 800,000 refugees since 9/11, and not one refugee has participated in an attack on U.S. soil from that program. So the program's safe. What is happening here is they're just trying to reduce the numbers, really. It's an excuse to reduce the number of refugees coming in.
I could talk to you again, like our other panel. I could talk to you all day long about this. I think that there are merits on both sides, as everybody in our audience and here. I wish there was some common ground that I could have brought the two of you to. Thank you so much for joining us. Kevin Appleby with the Center for Migration Studies, Hans von Spakovsky with the Heritage Foundation.